Good afternoon. I want to call to order the September 28th, 2017 meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority. I'm sorry for just a bit of a delayed start, but we do have a quorum, and we're going to call a roll in just a moment. But I want to welcome all of you who've joined with us today, and I know we're going to have some opportunity to recognize some folks here in a minute, and we'll do that as we get started. But again, thank you for being with us, and I'm going to turn to Clerk Linda Beamer and have her read the announcements and call our roll to establish a quorum, and then we'll get rolling here.
This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority is being videotaped in its entirety and will be cablecast without interruption on Metro Cable 14, the Government Affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable systems, and will be webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting is being shown live and will be repeated at 4 p.m. Saturday, September 30th on Channel 14. This meeting is closed caption. A DVD copy will be available for checkout from any library branch no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. A public copy of the full agenda, including reports, is available for viewing at the back table and is available on the library website at www.saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should complete a speaker identification form located at the back table and give it to the clerk. Please speak into the microphone when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard. In consideration of others, please silence your cell phone at this time. Stephanie Nguyen. Darren Soon.
Here.
Daryl Wu.
Present.
Linda Budge. Brian Rivas.
Here.
Jeff Slowey. Rick Jennings.
Here.
Don Natoli.
Here.
Jay Chenier.
Here.
Susan Peters. Angelique Ashby.
Here.
Sue Frost.
Here.
Eric Guerra. Alan Warren. Lori Hewer.
Here.
We do have a quorum. Okay. Stephanie, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please, today?
I don't know about that.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We're going to go into, I guess, we take public comments on matters not on the agenda. Anyone wish to address the board anything that's not on the agenda? All right, I didn't have any sign-up sheets, so we're going to go into closed session. We expect probably 10 minutes.
And if you'd prefer, I'm comfortable switching the presentations with the closed session,
Okay,
whatever is the pleasure of
all
the
right,
board.
well, we can do that then. That's okay. Well, as long as you're okay with that, so, and council is, okay. All right, so since we do have some folks on presentations, we'll go right to those. And I know a couple of these don't have any written reports, but we do have some folks we want to recognize and thank. So, Linda, you want to call down?
Okay, our first presentation, 4.1, is the agenda is in error. It should say Best Buy presentation to the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library.
Okay. All right. So we'll invite our folks up, our Best Buy folks, and our Friends of the Library.
So, and I apologize, I can't hear a thing today.
Okay.
I have a head cold.
What'd you say?
Ignore me. Pretend that you understand what I'm saying, and I'll pretend I understand what you're saying. So, the folks in blue. Vaughn Allen is the general manager of the Elk Grove store. He's here with Maggie Duffy Edwards, Bianca from the which store?
Elk Grove.
Elk Grove store, and
Sabrina
from the Arden store. Mm-hmm. And a little bit, and Sue Powell, who is treasurer of the Friends of Sacramento Public Library. So a few months ago, we were encouraged to apply for technology grants to Best Buy, and because we are not our own 501c3, we work with our Friends of the Library to apply under their name. And I'm happy to say that we got $7,000 to do some enhanced programming at the Franklin Community Library. So we're excited. Did you want to say anything? Come on, Meg.
All right, Maggie.
It is my pleasure to be able to present the $7,000 to the Friends of the Franklin Library, right, for their STEM, Friends of Sacramento Public Library. Thank you. And hopefully we'll see more RFPs next year.
So how wide was the competition, Maggie? Was there?
It is our market, which is Reno, Sparks, and Northern California. So we got about 35 RFPs in. We did give out overall $65,000, $16,000 in Elk Grove. So.
Hey, all right, way to go, Sacramento Friends of the Library.
A couple of high schools that got it in Elk Grove too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much to Best Buy. Did any others want to say anything?
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you. Well, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
And while they're taking a picture, I just really want to call out Lisa Dale and all of our public services managers and Jared Keller for putting together. We applied for a lot of money.
Well, why don't they come down and get in the picture with the folks then, too? Come on
down.
Come on down.
Yeah.
Get on there. Get down there with your director. And so,
Lisa.
I'm surprised you guys aren't taking selfies and all that stuff. You have somebody else take it. So.
Lisa worked
All right,
very
Lisa.
hard.
She did a great job.
Here, take it, please. Yes,
Get in there.
I'm coming. Let's see.
That's all it is.
I'll pretend I'm short.
Okay, everyone ready? All right, I'll take one more, and then can I get one with mine?
Yes.
Ready?
Thank you, Pearl.
One more. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Really appreciate you making the trip down. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And did we ask that Sue Powell stay at the podium?
Yes, Sue Powell, would you stay at the podium? She's holding on to the check, so you want to keep her close. So.
And maybe Pauline could come up since the friends are here?
Okay, so we're going to do a proclamation. I think this is 4.2, so I think Ms. Rivka's going to read that.
Do you want to do this?
Go ahead. You're right there. That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Well, because National Friends of the Library Week, which occurs every year around the third week in October, will happen before our next board meeting, we thought we would do this in advance to thank the Friends for their hard work, and I'd like to read it into the record, if I may. Whereas National Friends of the Library Week will be celebrated in public libraries throughout the country and Sacramento County and all of the cities and communities therein from October 15th, 2017 to October 21st, 2017, and whereas in 2016, the Friends of Sacramento Public Library provided 53,466 hours of service and gave local libraries $313,650 to fund programs, buy books, purchase new equipment, and bring the community together. And whereas the Friends of Sacramento Public Library were the face of the successful campaign to pass Measure X in June of 2016 by a margin of more than 79% of voters, extending the parcel tax for 10 years in the city, whereas the Friends of Sacramento Public Library raised more than $30,000 in 2017's Big Day of Giving to support the library's new Book First program for economically disadvantaged first graders, whereas the Friends of Sacramento Public Library provided more than 2,200 boxes of books to more than 40 charities, faith-based groups, and government agencies, allowing people without access to libraries to have access to books. And whereas the Friends' gift of their time and commitment to the library sets an example for all in how volunteerism leads to positive civic engagement and the betterment of our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Sacramento Public Library Authority Board does hereby proclaim National Friends of the Library Week and thank the hundreds of friends who support and enhance our libraries.
Thank you, Rivka. Sue, do you want to say any words as, Friends of the Library? Is there anything you wanted to add? No? Okay. Okay, we got a whole week devoted to all of you friends, so it's and enjoy. Again, thank you for all you do for libraries and for supporting our libraries. So, very good. All righty. Then with that, let's move down to, we'll finish the presentations. Summer Reading Challenge and Lunch at the Library, I believe is the next one, 4.3.
All right. Hello, everybody. I am Christy Ham. I'm the Youth Services Manager for Sacramento Public Library, and I'm here today to do a brief presentation about our wonderful summer successes that we had in this year's summer reading and also our summer lunch programs. So I wanted to go over, you have a written report, which I'm not going to go into, but in terms of our slides, hold on, now I have the power. All right, let's see. We reached 36,901 summer readers this year, and really the whole point of this presentation is to show you cute pictures of great kids with their summer reading medals. Each of those kids that you see there earned that medal by reading 25 books or more. We know that the summer slide is a real thing if kids don't read over the summer, so we make sure we build that into our program. So we encourage reading for fun to keep brains moving and growing, but summer reading is open to everybody, so it's not just kids, so you'll see some examples of that as well. So this is 20,428 finishers. It's the most in our library history, which is great. And each of those finishers represents somebody who read 5 or more books over the course of the summer. And you'll see some examples of feedback we heard from our community about how summer reading helped motivate kids and adults as well. Our percentages are up over years previous, so 55% of people who participated finished by reading 5 or more books, and we have some great stories here of how that helped encourage kids to do more. The most fun part is the number of books read by our community. So this year, almost 400,000, so close. So 396,000 books are logged by all of our summer readers across the county. So next year, we're totally going to hit it. This is a chance to see what the prizes that people earned for their reading. We gave away 15,964 prize books to kids. That's the prize they earned for participating in summer reading. They get a book to keep. So we think it's important to keep those books in the home. Even more than, library books are awesome, and also books to keep are awesome, so we keep that going. Adults this year got a chance to earn a book prize of their own. So thanks to the Friends of Sacramento Public Library, they gave a certificate for free books from the Book Den. That partnership worked out great because people got to discover what a wonderful resource we have in our community. And then, of course, our medal earners that read 25 books or more earned their medals and found those to be really motivating. And then we gave away some grand prizes. Everybody who participated got a chance to earn a ticket for the grand prize drawing. Here's a few faces of our great winners and where those came from all over our county. And then here's some things about this year's program. It improved over last year in all of our levels. We had a really great jump in terms of adult participation. This year we really worked with staff to help adults see their modeling great reading behavior for their kids and also finding fun for themselves. So we have a great little quote here about my wife and I competed against each other and it resulted in way more evenings reading together instead of watching TV. So there's some great outcomes. But really what we're really proud of is the 2,000 years of summer learning loss that were prevented because of summer reading this year. We had some special initiatives this summer that went great. We had a special program in District 8 with swim passes, thanks to Councilman Carr. We gave away 457 passes to the local pools at the Martin Luther King Junior Library and the Valley High North Laguna Library. We have a partnership with the Youth Detention Facility where library staff go and do intentional programming in the unit there. And we had 28 teens that read 405 books. That's a pretty great rate of return in reading, with some kids that really could use that exposure. And then we had a new partnership for adults this year at the Sacramento County Jail. So we had 7 women's unit participants that participated and earned their free library tote bag because of it. And they're so excited they're actually starting to model more programs for their residents based on the summer reading program that we did for them this year. And so we just want to say thank you to our partners who made it all possible. The Sacramento Public Library Foundation, we couldn't do it without their wonderful support. The Friends of Sacramento Public Library. And then I mentioned in the written report as well, we had a media partnership this year with Good Day Sacramento, Channel 13, and Wells Fargo that helped spread the word about summer reading to more and wider audience. Now, summer reading isn't the only thing we do during the summer. We also did a really successful summer lunch program this year, free lunch for kids at 10 different library sites. We got some special funding to provide teen intern program coordinators at those sites, and so those teens got some workforce development skills and also made the program possible. So we've had 5 years of growth in terms of that service. We served over 10,000 lunches, and at least one of those program coordinators we've hired on as a staff member, so it's working the way we want it to. And that's really it. So if you have any questions, I'm glad to answer.
Thank you very much for your presentation, certainly for all the good work that went into what you've reported. And we have a number of members directors want to weigh in. So I have Angelique Ashby, Jay Schneer, and Darren Soon in that order. Angelique.
Thank you. I wanted to ask a couple of questions and then also just make a comment. I don't remember how long ago, but I want to say maybe like 5 years ago is when I first started really paying attention to summer reading and kind of what it meant and how to increase that in my district in particular. And we made some changes too, similar to what Councilmember Carr tried, although not giving away passes, but working with the school district to get kids to have library card before school was out was one thing that we did. Big incentive packages. We were giving out, passes to ice cream places or Fairy Tale Town or whatever. And I just want to say it really worked, because now I think we don't break the numbers down quite so much anymore by branch, but Rancho Cordova used to always be the top branch, and my goal was beat them, right? Because I just wanted to see if
you
I
did.
Yeah, I know now that we finish first all the time, but the reason we finish first all the time is because we started all of that, and now it's routine.
It is. It's routine
and so
now.
I think Councilmember Carr told me earlier this year, I'm going to come for you, which I thought that's great. That's what I think we should work on that. So my question for you is, how did that work for him? I know he didn't finish at the very top, but it sounds like he did much, much better at those branches, which is terrific. So did offering city passes to the pools increase the numbers of kids participating and finishing in reading programs at the two libraries where we did that?
I'll have to look for the individual branches to be sure, and I will report that out to Councilman Carr when I meet with them in a couple weeks. But in terms of the community feedback we got, those branches reported really wonderful feedback from the community saying how much they valued that additional incentive. The kids really appreciated the chance to earn something that could help them enjoy their summer in more ways than reading as well.
Yeah,
so
I would just say, I'm really interested in that, because I think as individual representatives of areas, we're always looking for ways to get people to pick up good habits, whether that's reading or gardening or farmers markets or whatever. And so I would love to hear more from you about what incentive packages seem to work the best, or which things that we tried, like did serving lunch there increase summer reading, and if so, by what percentage? And then if you can wrap your arms around other things that might have happened. Like, I really believe a big thing that works for us is the fact that we take the library with us everywhere we go in the summer. So if we do a movie night, there's an Ashby booth and there's a library booth. Those are the only two booths I can tell you for sure will be at almost everything that we do. And so people can sign up for summer reading there. I think that helped us a lot over the years, but probably nothing more than having that partnership with the school district on the front end of summer to create an expectation before things start. So I'm just wondering if in time you could give us some report backs that could help inform not just us, but future council members in different areas or school board members about what kinds of things that they could do or lobby for as incentives that would increase that summer reading and reduce the gap. And I don't think it's a coincidence, by the way, that in that same 5 years, over that same 5-year period of time where North Natomas branch has just skyrocketed to the top on summer reading, that so have the performance outcomes at all of the schools in my district, every single one. But primarily the library, where the same site as the library, the high school that shares a site with the library, that high school 5 years ago was in a very different situation than they are now, a top performer in her baccalaureate program, all these things. I don't think those are coincidences. So I just think it's something worth, as you watch trends, figuring out what's moving the marker the most, because it's a big jump for some of these groups.
it is. Well, we really appreciate the support and the ambassadorship that all of our leaders have helped to spread the word about summer reading. That makes a big difference in the community, and we see those results.
I just don't have any doubt that every single person up here would do it if you gave them sort of the formula. Hey, if you did this, your reading, they would all do it for sure. So where we have some of that data, we should make it available.
We definitely can get out ahead next year with some ideas of how to jump in.
I think that'd be a great
Thank
idea.
you.
If you do this, you can try to beat Angelique in her area out there.
Yeah, we can make it a
Right.
little friendly. I'm not about
Yeah.
friendly competition. Whatever works.
Give it
for our
your
community.
best shot, any one of you.
There you are. There's a challenge. Laid it down. Okay. All right, Jay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Should be.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Just a quick question. So I want to thank you on the summer lunches, and it's really important, particularly since the city has abdicated its responsibility in that area, a fight that I lost a few years ago. I kind of have the same question, though. Do you think that is a draw versus we're doing lunches for kids who are there?
Oh, it's definitely a draw. We definitely saw new users who hadn't been to the library before because they offered lunch. And the more we can promote that, the better.
Do we have any kind of numbers? Are we doing any kind of surveys, or do we know? I mean, I think it would be helpful as we move forward. It would be helpful to show some of the municipalities, too, about what that can do, whether it's a community center or a pool. Mm-hmm. We can do these at lots of different locations, and we know that our kids are not eating enough in a lot of ways. So I'd like to see how we can work
And I want to add that this year, we started with Valley High North Laguna. That was our first site. And then we slowly have been adding sites with meeting rooms. This year, we tried our first library that doesn't have a meeting room, the Del Paso Heights Library in District 2 in the city.
And Rio Linda also.
And
Rio Linda also.
And Rio Linda Library as well. And I think those were really great and successful models that we learned from.
Yes.
And we're using a tool called Project Outcome. I don't know if that's helpful or if you can speak to that.
Yeah, we did survey for both for the lunch and for summer reading in general our participants to find out what they found valuable, and so people do report back that they feel the library is a safe place, they feel like the food was healthy, that they felt empowered because of lunch. So I'll be glad to share that in a future date.
Do you want more detail?
I do. I think that it can be helpful, and I know that the reporting requirements on the program are pretty strenuous. Have you had any challenges with that?
We are lucky to work with some food partners that handle most of the reporting challenges, where we work with either Natomas Unified at South Natomas. We worked with United Way as our food partner. We work with Elk Grove Unified School District. And those partners really do take on the bulk of the reporting. We just count meals and click the number that are served, and we make sure they're in compliance with the rules and regulations for food service. But other than that, that reporting hasn't been onerous on us because we have great partnerships in place.
Okay. So I don't want to take more time today, but maybe offline we can have a longer conversation, because there's a lot of facilities that should be doing this that aren't, and using you guys as kind of a proof point of how it can work.
And we do participate in the Sacramento Summer Meal Group, planning group, and are active in trying to get more people serving lunch.
Okay, thank you.
And we're very proud of, I mean, I can't say enough about this particular program, and you can see the growth. It's exponential.
Right. No, and I just want to say congratulations. I mean, this is really important, and I very much appreciate the library stepping out to do this. I think it's real leadership. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. Director Soon.
Thank you, Chair. I just also want to express my congratulations. I was going down the same path as Directors Ashby and Chenier. You obviously had a couple initiatives that you did that showed an overall improvement from last year, but the general trend is really amazing. So I imagine there's a whole list of tools, as the previous directors articulated, and be great to understand what those are, and we can employ them in other places. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Director Jennings. Yeah, don't go away too quick. Another.
So I was listening to all the comments from my colleagues, and I was going through the notes, and the thing that impressed me equally as well was the number of adult finishers that you had. So that means that parents are working with their kids and they're reading together, and it becomes a family activity. The TV is off, there's more reading going on. It really impresses me that the family can utilize reading as a opportunity to come together. So I was really impressed with that, and I just wanted to congratulate you with 25% over the 2016 totals. But then I went to the next bullet, which talked about if 5 books prevent 2 months of summer slide, then this year we eliminated over 2,000 years of summer reading loss. And that was just, I mean, that's an incredible number. And so, again, I just want to congratulate you on just doing great work, really making a difference. This is helping our parents, helping our kids, obviously. We're developing the future. And so congratulations. I just want to highlight those things.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for the support.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank you. Great job. Great job. Okay, nothing further on the summer reading program. Again, congratulations to all, and certainly to all the participants who benefited in so many ways. Then we'll move down to item 4.4, which is Galt Library Facility Update. And-
So Alice Bernardino is going to do a brief presentation.
All right. Alice,
She's
good
with the
afternoon.
City of Galt.
Hi, my name is Alice. I'm an engineering assistant with the City of Galt. I'm managing the library expansion project, well, the design of it. And just to let you guys know how this has been going, we just completed phase 1, which is just an overall conceptual plan that we have. And so I'm here to show you guys because you're the customers. You guys are using the building, and so we want to make sure that what we have designed so far is what you guys would like to see. We have been working with your staff designing the building. They've been to each brainstorming meeting that we've had. We've had 4 or 5, and so I have Mike Bouchot with GRA Architecture. He's the one who's designed the building for us, and he'll come up and show you what we have so far.
Okay, thanks, Alice. Mike?
Thank you,
afternoon.
Alice. Good afternoon. As Alice said, my name is Mike Bouchot, and I'm with GRA Architecture. We've had the privilege of working with Sacramento County and the City of Galt in putting in sort of the design, the front-end design of this project, and we have a brief presentation to show you where the project is right now. And hopefully, and this is how we spent our summer, so.
Is it not advanced?
There we go.
There we go.
This is the site plan. This is in the City of Galt. The existing site currently has the existing building, which is a 4,300 square foot building, and we've added a new addition, which is about 3,000 square foot. So the library has about doubled in size. Some of the changes to the site. Does this have a pointer on it?
No.
No. Okay. The old site plan and library actually had the parking in the northwest or in the east-west direction, and we changed it to a lineated, as you see here, that runs along the entrance driveway. This was to commingle with the events that go on Wednesday, and I believe it's Tuesday also, isn't that correct, Alice? Yes, for the public evening events, and to really help pedestrians and vehicular traffic separated. So
But
again,
you're going to realign the parking lot then?
we are. Currently, the parking lot, as I said, runs east-west, is very small, and I think we've gained some parking there also. And what we'd also like to propose is a new market public way to walk so that we can separate. Right now, everything's sort of mingled together, and
But you're going
there's
to
some
lose,
safety
you're
issues
lose
there.
some lawn area that they use for programming on that west side. right?
We
Southwest.
have lost some lawn area, that's correct, but there is still lawn area that's out in front, and that was part of the program requirement that when we were designing this. So I think that's it for about site. Here's the floor plan. As you can see, the lower half here, that's the existing library. The program and the design intent is to make the new part and the old part match. So we'll be going back in to interiors and doing finishes and colors and things like that. The new addition predominantly is a large multi-purpose room that will be used along with the library during library hours, and also a children's area, which you see in the right-hand corner. And that'll be open directly to the new library. And then there's some support spaces of IT space, storage, and restrooms. And we've also changed the book drop-off area, which is currently to the rear of the library, and we've moved that to the front with the new parking. These are the elevations. What was sought after to do is really tie the new building in with the existing. And other than the dots around the elevations, I don't think you can tell where the new and the old begin. So, the existing facility has a metal roof which leaks and has been, I think, on there for about 25 years. So what we're doing there is taking the opportunity in the new design to remove the existing metal roof and do this as a composition asphalt shingle roof. So. And to leave you just a couple of perspectives, the larger one to the right is the multi-purpose room. If you're familiar with this library, the existing has a vaulted ceiling. What we've done is done the same thing in the new and tie that in. So the new and existing sort of, again, there isn't going to be a big difference that you see when you walk into the old library and then into the new. The multi-purpose area up on the top there just shows another view towards the back of the room. And this is the beginning stages of the children's area, to really make it a playful area, visually secure, being able to be viewed from the front from the front desk, that the children remain safe, and open to the outside with some natural light. And again, there isn't currently. We're just in the beginning stages of this. So, and that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay, Director Hewer, anything from city side down there?
Hi. It's been on, our radar for quite a while, and I really thank Supervisor Natoli for assisting us in getting the funding to do the architectural plans. But the City of Galt currently does not have an identified funding source to do the expansion, so I'm not really sure when it's going to happen. We've, as a council I know the city manager and I have discussed it a number of times about what we're going to continue to look for funding sources, but currently there's not an identified funding source to build the project.
Okay. But when they're identified, you'll be ready to break ground. You're ready to go. So you said these are preliminary, or so you'll go all the way to what juncture? You'll have a full set of plans that would be.
Well, right now, biddable? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say. So will you take it through to a full set of plans that then would be biddable, or are not going that far? You're just going to have the concept and design so that when funding is identified, you could be ready to go. If there are grant opportunities that you needed to have a library addition done in a certain amount of time, sometimes those opportunities come along, but you have a tight constraint. So right. Where will you end up when you're done with this?
Well, our contract right now extends to the design development phase, which is really the engineering phase. Where, the design is complete. Now we'll bring the engineers, the structural, mechanical,
okay.
And the objective there is to provide enough drawings for the City of Galt to have a complete understanding where the project lies, money-wise, budget-wise, so that they can see where what funding needs to be made available. So we're probably about another 2 months till we complete the design phase and the budget phase that we'll hand back to the City of Galt.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Lori. Director Ashby.
Yeah, is there a projected cost associated with this expansion?
Yes, the current well, yes, to answer the question, the reason I sort of hesitate and have a little laugh is there's a difference in cost. We started this off at the City of Galt really thinking it was going to be closer to $1 million. Our costs are about 1.8 is what we really started off with before we even started design. So yes, so that's really anywhere from about $1.8 million.
So Rivka, the last time I know we did some major expansions and or new development of libraries in the City of Sacramento, there was some state funding available. Is that state funding going to come available with this school funding that's also coming forward?
Not to our knowledge at this point. Libraries, we actually statewide, the California State Library commissioned a study to look at the feasibility of another bond measure similar to the one that was passed in 2000, and it doesn't look very viable at this point. So,
does this share a site with a school or any?
No.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Thanks,
you. Thanks, Alice. Anything else then? Thanks for the update.
Thanks very much.
Okay. All right. If no other questions on that, then we have a couple more presentations. Sacramento Public Library Foundation report. There's no written report. We have no, nothing. Okay. And then Friends of the Library. Anything further? Nope. See none. Okay. All right. Then we'll go to Director's report, and then we'll at that point we'll.
Then we'll go
do
back
to close session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the interest of time, I will refer all of you to my written report, but I wanted to call out a couple of things. One is that Congresswoman Matsui has once again nominated Sacramento Public Library for a national medal. And we are working on our application, and we'll keep you posted. We feel like we're always a bridesmaid and never a bride. Both times we've applied, we've ended up as a finalist but did not receive the medal. We think we have a strong application, and we think we deserve it because we do very good work for our level of funding. I also want to remind you all that after this meeting tonight, if you have a little spare time around 6:30 and you need a little inspiration, walk across the street to the Library Galleria. It's our third career online high school graduation tonight at 6:30. We have a total of 14 graduates of our accredited high school diploma program who will be walking, and we have one GED recipient who will also walk, because we think that too is worth celebrating. And it's always a very inspiring evening, and one of our speakers is a graduate from our first class from 2 years ago. Wanted to also mention or call out the fact that Christina Schultz left at this point a little over $200,000 to the Elk Grove Library. It's unrestricted. We're looking at what that might mean, but we don't really want to put any money into the building, but we want to think about what the citizens of Elk Grove and the Friends of Elk Grove really want. But we're very excited about that. We received approximately 25% of her estate. We want to mention the robotics programs that were done down in the Delta, thanks to Supervisor Natoli, and just how meaningful those workshops have been, both for the kids in the Delta and Galt, kids in juvenile detention, and that we get to do it again this year. So we want to thank you, because it's a great program, because the kids from SES High School down in the Pocket are the ones who present the workshops and work one-on-one with the participants, and they get as much out of it as I think the kids who are the participants do. And we have reached out to a local nonprofit that serves women and children, and they're very interested. So we'll update you on that.
Great.
They really want to do it.
Great.
And then finally, I just want to mention that the day after the next board meeting, I get to fly to Amman, Jordan, and I'll work at the Sharza camp for a week and understand what the refugee situation in the Middle East is. It's the camp for Syrian refugees. And then I get to go to a conference and give a talk about what we do in Sacramento at Sacramento Public Library. So I'm pretty excited about that. So any questions?
Thanks, Rivka. Any questions? Again, very busy summer, lots of respects, a lot of good things going on. All right. We do have consent and information items and one action item. I was thinking we'd take the consent, but we may have speakers on the consent. So let's take a quick break here, do our closed session, come back, and then we'll finish up the agenda and hopefully be out of here fairly quickly. So, all right, so we will break to closed session, be back shortly.